Hello and welcome to The Bike Show. Now, last week we did introduce you and welcome you to 2019. This week we're introducing you to our errant presenter.
Yes.
How was the holiday?
It wasn't a holiday, it was a fact-finding mission.
In France?
Arduous, yeah. I found out the major fact is France is very, very cold in December.
Really?
So I'm glad to be back. And you may notice as well that new for 2019, look at this place. Fancy Performance Technic Centre
Yes.
here at Kyle Army. Wow.
This is our new premises. Okay, not really ours.
Yes, it looks professional, but that obviously has nothing to do with us because, well, our pikey little office is at the, yeah.
We welcome also not just our South African audience, but our international audience on our subscription channel,
Amazing.
thebikeshow.tv. Welcome to all this professionalism.
Wow.
Where?
So talking of professionalism, I've obviously been away for a while, so I presume you've lined up something pretty cool to go and ride.
We've been working non-stop since you've been away.
In fact, we've got a lot of work.
Sun
We've got a
and
lot of work.
bikes. It's really working.
Yes.
We've got a lot of work done while you were away.
Let's watch the work.
It would be accurate to say that motorcyclists, as a rule, are very brand loyal, and nowhere more so than in the world of adventure bikes. Argument has long raged between owners of KTM and BMW adventure bikes about which is the best, and the chances are that they will never, ever agree.
Until, of course, they ride one of these, the Triumph Tigers, the 1200 and the 800. And we don't know what it is about them, but the moment anyone rides one of these, there's suddenly a BMW or KTM fan and a Triumph fan. And as far as we can work out, well, we don't know why, because you read the spec sheets and it's not terribly convincing. So what is this mystical quality these Triumphs have? We thought we'd find out.
It's not as if Triumph is doing anything that the other manufacturers aren't doing. Without exception, everyone makes a full-fat adventure bike of 1200cc and a baby adventure bike of around 800cc. And it's not even as if the Triumphs are more rounded packages than any of the others, but still there is something very special about them. The Tiger 800 has been around since 2010 and, apart from the usual upgrades, is pretty much as it was when it appeared, which is fine by me as it was always so good. 95 brake horsepower and around 80 Nm of torque might not look all that great on paper, but in the real world it's always enough.
Don is always very keen on his analogies, and I've got one for him actually. Whereas the 1200 it's a big thing. It's a Great Dane of a bike. This is more of a Jack Russell. It just feels so much more eager, more keen. Yes, it loses out on ultimate grunt, you know, when you're accelerating in 6 to overtake something, so you do need to swap cogs. But it just feels just a bit more lively, just a bit more playful, if you can.
Riding the 800 makes you wonder why on earth you need anything bigger. There isn't a single area on this bike, not a single riding condition that makes you think, oh, I wish I had the 1200. The 800 is lighter by a massive 40 kilograms. It's just as comfortable, has just as good wind protection, and is just as well equipped with the things that really matter. But having said that, it's so much simpler, and that has to count when you're in the middle of nowhere. The screen is adjustable manually, and a lot easier than the 1200. There is no quick shifter, but I mean, well, really, is that such a deal breaker? The suspension is still top drawer WP, just without the semi-active adjustment. There's cruise control, handguards, heated grips and seat, full TFT dash, switchable ABS and traction control, and different riding modes to suit the terrain. Does more power, complexity and weight, and let's not forget, cost, make a better bike? Put these two bikes together and visually there isn't much to choose between them. The differences are in the details. Personally, I can think of no reason to take the 1200 over the 800, but no doubt Don has his own opinions, and we all know they're going to involve the word power, so we might as well give him a chance to respond.
Now we move along to the big daddy of the Triumph brand, the Tiger 1200. The The word that comes to mind when I ride this is luxury. Yes, luxury adventure. I swear it's got so many gadgets, it's as though Q from James Bond built it. And there are a lot of them. Over and above the gadgetry you get on the 800, the 1200 also has a keyless ignition, an up-down quick shifter, an electronically adjustable screen, cornering ABS, a hill hold start, and then there's the suspension. And that's my favorite gadget, the electronic WP suspension. Now, WP is built by KTM, well, owned by KTM, so technically this is the same suspension as on the 1290s. Yet I'm not quite sure how, but I think it works better on this than it actually does on the KTMs. It's just so kind of all round. I mean, it doesn't dive, it doesn't squat. You can ride it hard, nothing destabilizes it. And at the same time, it just absorbs all the bumps. But this is more than a science fair, it's a motorcycle, and that means it has an engine. In this case, it's the usual Triumph Triple, but the cylinders are 1215 cc's big. It churns out 140 horsepower and 122 Nm of torque. And that's no slouch for an adventure bike. However, it's also not class leading, and yet for some reason that isn't a problem. I think I've worked out what makes this motor, this triple motor, so brilliant. I mean, okay, this is the big triple motor, and it has this beautiful low kind of hum to it rather than the screech of the 800. But what I love about it, it's got torque, tons of it. Not as much as a V-twin or any twin, but it's got torque. But the difference is that the torque is sort of linear. So you have this feeling of control through predictability, which sounds like a communist manifesto, but never mind. It does mean you can do stuff like this. So far we've been throwing nothing but praise at the Tiger 1200, but now we need to address the elephant in the room. And if I'm honest, that elephant in the room is, well, it's just the Tiger 1200, because it weighs about the same as an elephant. It's 40 kilograms heavier than the 800. In fact, in dry, without any liquids, it weighs more than a KTM 1290 with all its liquids, and that's a lot. The Tiger 1200 seems to have an answer to everything that is thrown at it, as does the 800. And that is maybe what we are getting at with this film. What is that mystical quality that makes people like Triumph adventure bikes so much? There's the GS's, the KTM's, all of them. I can find things on those that I really don't like. I mean, overall I love the motorcycles, but there are aspects of it I really don't like, whereas this, well, I like everything. I like everything about this. If I take every single part, I like it. And that's special.
Okay, gents, that was a very nice test.
Thank you.
Very civilised,
It
both
was.
lovely bikes, but I have to say I've ridden them both extensively. I know which one I'd have. Donovan,
It's definitely this one.
you'd be wrong. And Harry?
Definitely this one.
Of course. British man on a British bike, you understand, don't you? Why this
You
one?
are both so dull. There's a very simple reason to choose this one, and that is, it's faster.
This is better. It's lighter, much lighter, 40 kilos lighter than that. It's cheaper. Like
How much horsepower? Still plenty.
95,
Yeah,
so does it say about the same torque?
Shame.
And this?
140 horsepower,
Yeah.
which is more.
This is
And how many of the prices has it got?
How many are the prices? Well, do you know what? I mean,
How
you're
much?
buying luxury
Expensive then,
goods.
Yes, it's
You're
expensive.
buying
He's making
luxury
it.
Yes, it
goods.
is
You can't
luxurious.
put a price on luxury and sophistication.
But we want one.
If you were to, it would be 254,000 rand.
And this is 199,000.
Is it?
And it's not 50 grand less bike.
No, not at all.
Yes,
I
it
would take
is.
the 800. It's just much more lively. This is great if you've got a passenger on the back. It's the preferable route, but
This is
800
just-
all day.
This has got more of everything. It's got the little key fob, it's got a nice adjustable screen, and most importantly, up-down quick shifter. Where is that?
One more thing to go wrong. Two more things to go wrong, your electronic suspension. Three more things to go wrong, your electric
the brilliant
screen.
electronic suspension.
Yes, it might be brilliant, but it's going to go wrong at some
this
point.
Is better suspension.
They're both pretty good.
Too
They're
complicated.
they're both pretty good.
Yes, they're both brilliant, but this is the best
wrong,
one.
as he usually
I'm
is.
not.
And we should probably end it there. Let's go for an ad break and come back with something much more interesting. The Dakar.